That it's better to die by the sword than die by famine. There's a good story that proves our scripture. If you get it in 2 Kings 7 and start from the top.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 7, verse 1.
Now, what was going on was this time was the Syrians besieged Israel. Okay, they besieged Israel and they caused a great famine. So everyone that was dwelling in the city where they besieged was starving to death. You know, it was to the point where they sold money for turtle dove, you know, bird shit. Okay, for like a calf's head. You know, because it was a great famine. That's the time we're coming into. Yep. You know, to the point where there's no food out in these grocery stores. Right. No food anywhere. No food. There's nowhere to get food. These people are going to be starving to death to the point where they're going to eat their dogs. Okay, there was a video on YouTube. I forgot the video. When reality hits, it was. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, he was narrated.
Yeah, they got part one and part 2.
Yeah, that one.
I haven't seen the part 2 yet, but the one was crucial.
Yeah, the one was crucial. And in that documentary, he said that they're eating their dogs. You know, that's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be no food to the point where you people are gonna start eating your dogs that you love so much. Right. Start eating your cats. Trying to go out and try to hunt, man. Right. You know?
Yeah. Hey, right now. Oh, Salaki, brother.
I was just gonna say, because once the truckers stop moving, you know, that's when the famine is really gonna hit, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be no food coming in or out.
And that's scripture.
Yeah.
They say the storehouses shall be empty. Woo!
Yeah. It's gonna escalate once everything goes into the chip and the war. Because when war starts, they cut off trade routes. You're already in the trade war, so once the war starts, majority of the shit that comes into this nation is in the ports, where the truckers bring. So, and then the Lord destroyed the breadbasket of America, so to speak. So this place is already through.
Look at this. Salaki, brother. They fighting over Popeye's chicken sandwiches when there's plenty of places they could go get something to eat, man. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine when there's no food at all, how Jake gonna be. You think driving their car through a Popeye is gonna be something? Or jumping through a goddamn Popeye's window? Man, they gonna be slicing necks, man. Stabbing motherfuckers because they got a can of peas or some shit. You know?
Peaches. Hey, you had that, Salak, you had that documentary you told brothers to watch, American Blackout.
Yep.
It's only like 9 days in.
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. Not even a full 2 weeks. It's like, it was like a full 2 weeks, like 15 days, like day 15. Motherfuckers was fighting over a can of peaches, like.
Yeah, he killed him with the can of peaches and shit.
He got his prize, like. Then he's like, well, how am I supposed to open it and shit? He
that Snickers commercial.
He's like, I need that can. I can't do that, man.
That Snickers commercial, you are not you when you're hungry. That is true, man. You're not gonna be you when you're hungry. These people are gonna act like total animals.
Yeah.
They act like animals now, but it's gonna intensify when they got no goddamn food, man. You know what happens when let's say you lock up a snake in a cage and you don't feed it food. The snake's gonna go crazy. It's gonna find a way out. You know, these people are gonna go crazy when they have nothing to eat, man. Because when a natural emergency happens, what's the first thing that these people are gonna do? They're gonna run to these grocery stores. Okay, in the movie World War Z, okay, when they were in the grocery stores, people were fighting over medicine, over food. You know, they were fighting over things that they took for granted. Okay, people were killing each other for food, and that's what we're heading into, man. Look at Jake. They want to kill you over a pair of Jordans. They want to rob you over your shoes. Now just imagine when the food runs out. Black Friday, every year there's Black Friday. Niggas want to fight over a TV. If they can't get the TV, they make sure you can't fucking get it. Bro. So what happens when the fucking food? What happens when the food runs out?
Right, and that's TVs. That's something you can't eat. You know. Yeah. So just imagine when their stomachs start touching their back. Jake gonna go into, man, they gonna be in Esau neighborhood. They gonna be everywhere, wherever there's food.
Yeah. And Esau knows this. That's why Esau in certain neighborhoods they prepare. They you know, like doomsday preppers, they prepare for the ones that don't have food to come into their neighborhoods and look for food. They prepare to fight back and defend what they have, man.
Right. They show it on doomsday preppers. Yep. They prepping for. Who they prepping for? They prepping because they know the niggas gonna come to their neighborhood and try to take their shit. Yeah. So they got ammo, they got bullets, all type of guns and, you know, big stuff, man. Ain't no little stuff. I'm talking about big stuff, and they training their little children to shoot.
A good example, I was watching Doomsday Prepper. this guy, I think it was in DC, he was preparing for an economic collapse. So his whole neighborhood was in it. Okay, they were training, they had the kids, they were doing different scenarios of what happened when the people come into our neighborhoods. We gotta defend our neighborhoods. You know, they were doing different scenarios, and they were showing you on that show, man. Because they know when you people are starving out in the cities and got no food, you're gonna have to leave the house for it. If you can't even get out, because the scripture says in 2 Ezra 16 that you should decide to go into the city, but should not be able to.
Okay, that's a martial law. Because they got to worry about martial law. The crazy ass people that ain't eating animals, they gonna have to worry about all this. If they only think about people, we gonna shoot them. What about the animals and shit? Wild beasts, they gonna be coming hunting for your ass too.
Yeah, because the animals, like you said, the animals could be hungry too. Yeah. When society falls, you have to understand no one's gonna take the time to go try to feed some lions. So the Lord's gonna find a way for them to escape, man.
You might see a lion just rolling down the street with an infant in his mouth, just, you know what I'm saying? Ready to take him in the corner and just tear his ass up.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You know, it's gonna be crazy shit like that, man.
There was this one clip that it showed like an eagle about to fucking take a baby up in the talons, but they had to catch it on one of them slow cameras, and the baby was in the park. Eagle was about to take his ass up, but it dropped it. It looked so as though the birds, all the beasts of the field, they gonna be out here too, gunning for these people. Yo.
And this is all judgment, man, because you people dealt in great wickedness. Like we were going into earlier, how the brothers were going into earlier, how we're out here every week. You know, we're prophesying. You people don't want to hear us, man. You know, you rather you see us, you see what we're doing, you hear what we're saying, but you don't want to take heed to what we're saying, man.
Right.
You know, so therefore you're gonna learn the hard way. When you learn the hard way, it's gonna be too late for you, man.
That's right.
You know, it's gonna be too late for a lot of these people, man.
And the difference is, if I can land back, the same men that you didn't want to listen to, hey, we gonna be all right. Lord's willing with those men. The Lord said, I'm gonna feed them. I'm gonna give them drink.
That's Isaiah.
I got it all written down right
now. God. So for us doing this work, going back to the dudes strictly on the keyboard, you gotta get out here and make your call in the election sure, because when that time happened, internet gonna be off. Ain't gonna be no Kwame Charlotte, it ain't gonna be that anymore. It's gonna be you, the Most High, and all these calamities.
Scripture says what? Work out your own salvation. Part of working out your own, with fear and trembling. And part of working out your own salvation with fear and trembling is going out to the highways and byways. That's why you see all of us out here. We're working our own salvation, hoping that we will receive protection in our day, receive bread, food for our families, that we won't take part in these plagues that are to come into this place. We want mercy from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
That's right.
All right? That's why we're out here, okay?
We don't want to be in the outer darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like Yahweh Shai, you got to double up, man. You know?
Double up. Hey, you got a dip song say that. Double up. This is
wait, let me bring out.
Oh yeah.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 20.
Girl, what is that?
Yeah, on Slakia. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 19.
No, that's the
2nd Esdras 16 and 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for men."
Yeah, these are sent to punish you people, man. Okay, in a harsh way, because the Lord is not going to put you to death. Okay, He's going to make you people suffer, man. He's going to bring your worst fears upon you. You people think that, you people have that mentality, YOLO. We're all going to die anyway, so we might as well do what we want. It's not about how, yeah, you're going to die, but it's not about how you're going to die. It's about what you're going to go through before you die, because you're not going to die a peaceful death, a quick death. You're going to die painful. You're going to suffer. You're going to suffer the plague of famine. You're going to suffer these spirits. You're going to suffer these animals. The Lord's going to bring your fears upon you to punish you, man.
And the plague of the mind.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's the spirit of the mind.
The women, they fear spiders and roaches. Most High gonna make them eat them, man. They gonna have to find some way. They gonna trip in their mind and have to eat them damn things.
Yeah.
They afraid of them because what they gonna eat, man.
Ain't nothing nice coming to America for what you people think.
They're gonna be tormented by those things that they're afraid of. You scared of spiders, you're gonna be tormented by them shits, man. It might not even be there, but you probably be the only one to see them shits. Or some shit like that, you know?
They showed you in Judgment Day, Sarah Connor, she started to trip out. She had to soldier up or just be crazy And you know, she started to be scared, like spiders and shit on her at night and shit. She couldn't sleep because the Terminator was looking for her. So she got to get right in her mindset.
Hey,
like,
the Lord gonna be the
out.
Terminator in that day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? She gonna terminate your ass. You gonna
Go on overdrive. Go on overdrive on Jake.
The brother brought out, Salaki, the brother brought out the amendments. You got the so-called high officials writing amendments or whatever. But like the brother we read earlier, is the Most High that ruleth in the kingdom of men. He's gonna bring these judgments down. He's your ruler. He's the ruler of everybody, really. Esau gonna know that, these heathens gonna know, and especially Jake is gonna know, because the men of the Lord was for you. The hand was stretched out to you, but you didn't take the door of repentance open unto you, so you had to suffer by death, by pain. That's how you gonna learn.
Can I ask you something, sir? Amos 8 and 11, is that where it says a famine? I was reading this.
Famine of the word, that's the truth. Because real soon, we're out here right now, but real soon we're not going to be out here no more. No, we're going into like famine, like actual famine.
Actual famine too.
Saying the word will no longer
They're gonna
be.
starve spiritually. They're gonna starve spiritually and physically.
That's Amos 8 and 11.
Yes.
That's what the scriptures say. 11 is dealing with the word. That's what the scriptures say.
That's what we doing, man. Now this is 2 Kings.
Now this story proves what we read earlier in the beginning of the video. Lamentations 4:9. It's better to die by the sword than to die by famine. Go ahead.
This is 2 Kings 7 and 1. Then Elisha said, "Hear the words of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria."
What Elisha was doing, he was prophesying. Okay, now Elisha was a prophet. Okay, now a prophet would prophesy of things that could happen tomorrow, just like we're reading now. Well, Elisha was prophesying. He was prophesying about something that was going to happen tomorrow. A prophet could prophesy about something that could happen a week ago or another generation. Okay, a lot of the scriptures that the prophets prophesying are meant for this time. We're living through what the prophet Daniel, prophet Jeremiah, prophet Isaiah, you know, and Esdras prophesied about, man. We're living in those times, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of the Most High and said."
Now the hand of the king leaned. If you look it up, it means to lean on, to trust, like someone's right hand man. You know, someone that to trust. Like in Game of Thrones, you had the hand, right? The king had a hand.
Yeah.
So the king will go to the hand. Go to the hand for like a help or what advice or what should we do? You know, and the hand will help him out. So this is what basically this man was, right?
In these modern times, that'd be like a vice president type of position. It's like somebody to help out the head guy.
Advisor.
The advisor. There you go. Yeah. It reads on. It says, "And said, Behold, if the Lord Yahweh would make windows in heaven, might this thing be?"
So this man doubted. Okay, he didn't believe what the prophet. He didn't believe the word of the Lord. Here it is. It's Elisha, man. Elisha was the right-hand man of Elijah. If you know who Elijah is, he was one of the greatest prophets on earth. And here it is. You doubt what this man is saying, not knowing that Yahweh Bashim Al-Shaddai was speaking through that man. Okay, because what was going on is like we said earlier, it was a famine. The Syrians besieged the city. Okay, people were dying. People were selling turtle doves and a donkey's head, which a donkey head don't have a lot of meat on it. Okay, that's nothing. Yeah, bread has anything. All right. So this man doubted. Okay, he didn't believe what the prophecy that Elisha brought out. Right? Go ahead.
It says, "And said, Behold, if the Lord, or if Yahweh would make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate."
Now these were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. Someone Baba Kashar give me a Leviticus 13, and I think it's 46. Get that quick point, because when this man they had leprosy. Okay, we all know the law of leprosy. We're gonna prove it. You got it? Leviticus 13, 46.
So this is Leviticus chapter 13, verse 46. And it reads, it says, All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone. Without the camp shall his habitation be.
So a man that has leprosy, okay, that unclean leprosy, because you had clean lepers and you had unclean. You know, like Esau, the so-called white man, he's a clean leper. Okay, now you got Jake, like, I don't know if you saw that Judite lady all screaming. She had leprosy. She was like an unclean leper. Okay, now if a man that had leprosy back in the ancient world, you had to put him outside the camp. Okay, and that's what happened with these men, because we kept the laws back then. They were these two men that had lepers. They were put outside the camp. Okay,
outside the city. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says.
So they weren't in the city where all the famine was going on. They knew what was going on. You know, like, go ahead.
Yeah. It says, and there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city.
See, they knew what was going on. They knew that the famine was in the city, right? Go ahead.
Yep. It says, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians.
See, now let us fall into the host of the Syrians. They knew they were going to die, but they wanted to die the easiest way out. And they knew that the famine going into the city wasn't an easy way out. They knew that if they go into the city, they're going to die by that famine.
They was going to get the head, the kids. I'm talking the sword. It said, It says, and if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us fall into the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live. And if they kill us, we shall but die. And they rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the utmost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. For the Lord Yahweh had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, lo, the kings of Israel have hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us.
So what was happening, the Lord made a great tumult, like sound of war, like someone was about to attack them. So the Syrians, they were afraid. They were afraid and they fled, because they didn't want to die by their enemies. So they fled. All right, go ahead.
It says, wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight, and left their tents, and their horses, and their asses, even the camp, as it was, and fled for their life.
So the whole camp, all the armies, all the tents, where everything was empty, but everything that they had, they left there. All the food that they had was left there. That's why you go into Elisha's prophecy of how he said, hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel. Because the Lord knows how to, you know, provide for the people, man. He knows how to do it too, man. And this is the way that he was providing for the people of the famine of the city that were going through that famine. Okay, he had all this Syrians. He made a tumult, like something was going on, like they were about to get attacked, which really was the Lord doing it. The Syrians thought that it was an adversary, so they fled. And the Lord used all that they had to feed the city, man. The only one that didn't feed was the man that didn't believe. Okay, and that's what we have to do, man. In these times, we're gonna have to believe and put our trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna have to put our trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because our faith is gonna get tested. Our faith is gonna get tested to the max, man. You know, when Esau brings that RFID chip, how you think he's gonna do it? That's the hour of temptation. Now I was watching this one guy on YouTube. He said that Esau doesn't need to bring all the troops and to get every single one that refuses the chip. All they gotta do is starve them out. Okay, all they gotta do is starve them out, man. That's all Esau has to do, because real soon the people of the city will give up, and then you go for help for the government willingly, and the only thing they're gonna get fed, the only way they're gonna eat is if they have this chip, man. Okay, and that's why we need to put our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, not in the so-called white man. Because if you put your faith in the so-called white man, you're gonna feel the wrath of the Most High's indignations, which is the missiles. You don't want to feel that fire, man, because that's gonna be the worst fire that you're ever gonna feel. That's gonna be the worst pain that you're ever gonna feel in your life, man. Is that fire.
And who knows how long the Lord, between you and him, could have you just be there, just feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, it might seem like a lifetime and shit. You just
That's how the Lord can work on your mind like
See?
that.
That's why we gotta work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, hoping that we're not part of those men that take that chip, man. That's why every day pray for the Lord to give you the spirit, you know, to prepare your mind for that hour of temptation, to give you the spirit not to take the RFID chip, not to deny him, not to deny him, man. We got to pray for that spirit, because you got guys that want to say, oh, I'm not gonna take the chip, but they don't understand what's gonna happen. They don't understand the trials the trials that's gonna test them to tempt them to take that chip, man. Esau knows. He studies the people. He knows, man. A good example, like we said earlier, Black Friday. They know, like, damn, all we got, if they fight over TV, just imagine when the food's runs out. We can easily get these people to take the chip, man.
Hey, that's why you gotta have vision, because if you have vision, then you can see how the Lord is gonna jack this place up, and that'll put fear in you, man. If you don't have no vision, hey, you'll just keep going about your day and not having no faith, not having no fear in your heart about your mouth shy, and just continue doing the things of the world. And then next thing you know, like a thief in the night, the Lord pop up on your wicked ass, and it's all game is over for you, man. I'm talking about the worstest shit you could even think of. You gonna go through everything, man. I'm talking about you at the house, man. You need to get your ass up off that goddamn computer table and then, you know what I'm saying, bring your ass to the highways and byways, man. You know what I'm saying? Quit being relaxed, man. Because you don't work, you don't eat, man.
Yeah,
you know?
That's twofold. That's literally and spiritually. If you're not going on the highways and byways, making your body live in sacrifice, doing the Lord's work, how do you expect to eat in that day? How do you expect to get your child, your children to eat in that day? If you're not put in the work to do the Lord's work, man. Like the brother was saying, going behind the computer ain't gonna do shit. You actually gotta come out here, man. Show that, work out your salvation with fear and trembling.
Hey, you said out in Ezekiel 33, last what brother's talking about. Get those precepts out, bro.
Now you mentioned faith. For you dudes at home and those that are of a fearful heart, the Lord tells you in Hebrews, hey, without faith it's impossible to please you. You gotta build the faith now. Because in that time where the troops everywhere, cities are cut off, you just inside the city, famine, pestilence, plague is out there, people killing each other for a can of peaches or whatever, you gonna have to be like, I have faith in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. He gonna get us through this. There's more with us than with them. You gotta read these historical events that happen to our people, like this one right here we read.
Yeah, everything is written aforetime, is written for our learnings, boost up our faith. Like if it happened to these men, it can happen to us. So all I gotta do is believe, because these ancient men, these ancient prophets, which were the elect by the way, they believed, they put forth their faith, they believed in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai.
That's what builds our faith up, because we seen that the Lord was dealing with those men. Why? Because they believed. They believed in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, and when they believed, the Lord fought for them, and the Lord delivered those men. And if we're the elect, we are those same men, and the Lord's gonna deliver us again, man. Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta believe with all your might, man, and trust in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai that He's gonna deliver you, not only you, but your family, your brothers, everybody, man. Everybody who's right in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, man. You want your brothers to be delivered, man. You know what I'm saying? You want your family to be delivered. I want my family to be delivered. That's why my ass is on the highways and byways right now, man. Because if I didn't give a shit, I wouldn't be here, man. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit wasn't with me, shit, who knows, man? I'd probably be in jail or some shit, man.
Hey, they don't understand. They're like, why you always out every Saturday? I'm trying to help your ass too, man.
Fighting wars, man.
You know?
This has to be done. Because in these... Go ahead. Go ahead.
But it pleases the Lord to see His servant, it pleases the Lord to see His servant really put his trust in Him, man. That didn't put his trust in this society and put his trust in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai.
Get that precept right, man. Get it out. Ezekiel. Get it out.
This is Ezekiel 33, and I started let me see, 31. Matter of fact, I started 30. Yeah, I started 30. And it reads, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they